Purpose. The why of you. Bad people. My time in the military taught me that every job has a function. I mean, sometimes people look at dependents or family as non-essential personnel, but that's a lie because soldiers need their family in order to fully function. If a position or a job isn't truly useful, then the military phases it out. If we use a macro perspective, if something is not useful in life or can't defend itself from predation, it fades from existence at some point. Material becomes obsolete. Biological becomes extinct. Everything on this planet that is still in existence serves a function for something else. Also, every living creature has a unique connection with life itself. There is no non-essential life form. Everything, as long as it exists, has a purpose. That is an immutable truth. As a self-aware being, you acknowledge your existence, and your natural instinct of self-preservation makes you want to live. So you know you're alive, and you want to live, but do you have a purpose apart from other people? In my video about righteousness, I presented a theory that the best of us, exemplary human beings, represent the energy that keeps order in this reality, this universe. They have a job, a purpose, a function, and try as they might, they cannot run from it because they are designed to feel their purpose more than the average human. Exemplary humans aren't interested in killing other people to advance their own ego or messed up sense of justice or divine right. No, the people who are truly here to represent righteousness will die themselves before allowing harm to others. The best of us are like the white blood cells in our body. They sense disease and they attack the disease, even willing to die to do it. The best of us do as they must. I use that very real example because to defend against something that will keep us from living or sickening us is inside of us. We are born or designed that way from a genetic standpoint. My theory is that the universe is no different. We are of it. Bad people? People who would do harm to their fellow humans? Immoral, savages, evil? Do they represent something more, or are they simply fulfilling their purpose? Could they be broken humans? People just like us that one day, for whatever reason, due to outside stimuli, their body processes switch up, begin to go haywire. Are bad people just normal people who just ran into something that messed up their used to be normal minds? You know, did they just snap? Or were they simply born bad, genetically opposed to moralistic and peaceful behavior? Are bad people simply people who are born to destroy? Agents of chaos, per se. You know, if any of these possibilities are true, then bad people have the purpose of showing us that we need to look out for one another better. Because if we look at being human, or the human being, as a collective of different points of views, with each human having the same goal of advancing the entire species, then bad people, people who do savage acts, are setbacks. They let us know that there are real problems within our society that can affect more of us if we do not handle them. Even if we change our perspective further and consider the entirety of human society as one giant machine, cold and unfeeling, with every human a vital part of the machine, or even a source of power, then bad people show us that the machine has malfunctions or power surges that need to be addressed. If we address these malfunctions and power surges, then the machine can advance. It can work better. See, no matter how the hell you look at it, the rule of thumb is that no problem goes away on its own. You may get away with not fixing it for a while, but it will come back. You never really get away unless you fix the problem. We are not machines. We are not cold and unfeeling. We are the exact opposite. Biological sources of thermodynamic energy. We are social beings. We are a collective. You have to face it. We do great works together. We build, and with that building comes advancement. We discover more. Using the raw matter that surrounds us, we rearrange it, the molecules, the atoms, into something else we can use, advancing our knowledge of reality bit by bit. We advance together. To drive this point further, an immutable truth is that no man or woman has gone very far alone. No millionaire is actually self-made. Not only did others educate you, you needed people to give you money in exchange for your goods or services. We aren't even born alone. In order to make it past the stage of childhood, at least, a baby needs help. Adults are literally here as parents to make sure that babies do not die. Face it, we need one another, and we need one another to be good. We need them to be all right, because if they are not, then that person could do us harm as human beings. Another immutable fact, when neglected by other humans, we don't do very well mentally. A neglected child never fares well. They need attention and care. So you know that you can't neglect an entire neighborhood. It needs attention and care. I'm from old school Brooklyn, New York. When you got robbed or jumped, you learned real fast that shit is real out here. But it's not that it's real, it's just wrong. It's real damn wrong. When you're in a situation where you as a child have to revert to survival tactics in order to get to school, that's fucked up. Teenagers killing each other, and yet y'all live in the same hood. That's fucking savage, man. You're trained to revert to the nature of the beast. And like a beast, some children and teenagers have killed their parents, and some parents, their children. The atrocities that a human being is capable of is too long to list. Bad situations like war or growing up in a bad neighborhood, these things shape the human mind. It makes it regress to an almost constant state of self-preservation. It reverts you to an animal nature. Lines have to be crossed in order to survive. And one day, if you live to be old, you have a good chance of hating yourself for the things that you did just to survive. That's why you see a lot of reformed gangsters. But from the best man to the worst man, we all start out as babies. We were all children once. Social media shows me that many still are kids, even though they look like adults, because children seek attention and will do anything to get it. Where I grew up, you ignore the child, he may burn the entire village down for attention. In the hood, or even jail, as they say, some of y'all is just food, meaning that you as a man or a woman are just a victim. I've seen the so-called predators, the savages, the killers. I grew up with a couple. It was impossible for me not to know them. I've seen the so-called waste, the food that they left behind. Every crackhead who never pulled out from their addiction was food. As a matter of fact, every drug addict was food. Their money fed the predator. Hell, sometimes their bodies fed the predator. I watched it happen, but I knew that was the nature of beast. A man knows better. No human with knowledge of self would defile their body. A human being who has their mind and body in sync would not allow a foreign or recreational substance to weaken that connection. The price of consciousness is too damn high. My father was and is a tough man. Gangster. He couldn't shield me from what was going on, but he didn't have to, because I was made to see things differently. I knew my mind, my spirit, my purpose early. What is the content of your character? It helps you figure out your purpose. The killer was never cool to me. He was sick and was an indicator that the neighborhood was messed up. The woman who everybody had sex with, she ain't have a father like mine to show her how a man should treat her. She was missing self-worth. The gangs in school, I saw through them quick. They were all lonely kids just like me. We got along, but I never joined any of that gang shit. But since I knew them, I never had any issues. My purpose was to see things as I was designed to see them. Then, if I felt that things were fucked up, use whatever abilities I have to identify problems and subsequently create something that will provide at least a step toward fixing the problems. Because I cannot alone bring together an entire human race, but I can contribute something tangible that could lead to the desired result, hopefully before I expire. An immutable truth is that no human being is born to be a victim. We have natural defenses in the body to prove that fact. At the very least, you exist to survive. Your cells are telling you you are here to make your mark. Because despite all the addicts I've seen during the crack era, and even the food, weed, and opioid addicts I see in this era, I still see the human body trying to survive in spite of a mind or consciousness trying to kill it. Imagine how society would be if those minds were fully aware and willing to right themselves. No human being's purpose is to kill others. That person has lost their humanity somewhere along the way. They've reverted to bestial behavior, but you're not a beast. You see, the universe has designed us so that every time you kill someone, it takes something away from you as a human. It does something to your mind, your will, your spirit. We are social beings, not killer beings. That's why a lot of soldiers are questioning the meaning of existence itself, because they've lost sight of the point of it, having killed other men and children and women. It's why some killers become regretful and remorseful. Their human mind realizes the gravity of their terrible actions. Too late to bring those lives back. Yes, we are connected, and the shit you do to others, you get by, but you don't get away. No matter where you go, there you are. But you know, some people are just savage. They don't care about rehabilitation or redemption. I think those people should be detained. I mean, after all, animals, real animals, if you want to identify as an animal, we cage them, because if you let them loose, they will kill us. Those are probably bad people to the core. You know, Right now, thanks to the actions of the United States government, there are 30 million people without work and countless more who don't know how they will survive. Remember what I said earlier about the price we pay for neglecting other human beings. Desperation will make a savage. Empathy is a life skill. You better develop it. It's worth everything.